The Big Show on Hauraki. Cheers, Tui, for bringing back the laughs in a world gone mad. Yeah, right.
Don't fight it. It's time to go up a size. This is the biggest.
This is the biggest.
Our biggest show.
The Hauraki Big Show. With Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue and Keyzie.
Oh, g'day, you mad bastards. Great to have your company this moody Wednesday afternoon. You're listening to The Big Show, brought to you by Tui.
Tweet.
And I tell you what, we've had a lot of people send through their Tui billboard ideas.
They
There's some
have.
absolute doozies
There's
there.
some pure filth in there as well.
Of course, there's always filth from our listeners on 3483, but we've passed them straight on to management. And I can tell you the Tui management, they're stoked.
Who?
Tui management.
No, but who from Tui Management?
It's actually me. You've been sending them up the line to me, old Mogi.
Oh, yeah.
But I also know another guy, Andy. Who works,
Andy.
Andy.
Yeah, he's on
Anyone
his
else?
And Nick.
What about Susan? You got no woman working at Tui. Come on, Jase, man, you're better than that.
Not Susan, Susanna.
Oh, Susanna, yeah.
She's lovely.
Right.
She's lovely. Speaking of which, g'day, Mogi. How you going, you absolute stallion? Loving the T-shirt, mate. Jesus.
Going pretty grousey, you mad dog. You're a sick son of a bee, you know that?
Yes, I do.
I was over at the kitchen just earlier on, and you won't know this, Keyzie, but
yeah.
I was over there, I was getting myself a drink of water, and I thought to myself, something's not right here, and I turn around, and there's old Hoity J in the corner of the office, and he's undressing me with his eyes.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I do that every day, though. You
Was
know
he
what
doing?
I mean?
Was he doing the hand gestures and stuff
He was.
as well?
He was like doing the buttons on my jeans, and then the zip down, and then he grabbed the side of my jeans and pulled them down to the floor, and I just thought, how good is this?
Yeah, I reckon, man. I reckon. G'day, Keyzie, you mad bastard. I tell you what, you've been looking sensational of late, but I've got to be honest with you. Today you're looking a little drowsy. You're looking a little bit...
Drowsy, not droozy?
You're looking a little bit smudged. Can I put it that way? Smudged.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I
That
think
doesn't
that's-
make any
Yeah,
sense.
that's a good way to put it.
Just slightly out of focus.
I think that's your eyes.
Right, yeah, maybe. This is my milky white eyeballs.
But I'm feeling good, though, Jace. And actually, I'm wearing a jacket today I haven't worn in ages. And a few people have complimented me on it, so I'm quite happy
What have
about
they done?
They've complimented me on it.
Complimented you on it.
Complimented
Yeah,
me
I'm
on
not
it.
surprised.
I warned the audience it's going to be one of those days today.
All three of us are buggered, and it's
yes.
going to be a shambles, so
Jace.
stay tuned.
Yes.
Nice shirt, brother.
Yeah, thanks, man.
What is that,
Thanks.
like a generic button-up?
Yeah, it's just your sort of plaid, flannel sort of shirt.
Your
Yeah.
undershirt's really knackered. It's got heaps of holes in it.
Yeah, that was. It's called. I'll open myself up there. It's Stolen.
Distressed.
It was a show I was in many years ago. I can't
Right.
even remember what it was about, to be
Yeah.
honest.
I like the
Well,
way
it's
you
working for you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah.
fellas.
And the way your skin tags poke through the little holes in the shirt.
Actually, my skin tag's fallen off, so that's good news.
Oh, that's
hey,
great.
but listen, let's regather ourselves, listen to some tunes, and get into some chat, hey? In the meantime, here's Jet.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
Yes, indeed, Queens of the Stone Age here on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon. The time is 13 minutes past 4 and all is well. Now, listen, coming up on the show, by the way, I should have mentioned this at the top. Mogi's going to give us an update on his shoelace chat.
The financial report.
Yeah, the financial report. And we asked the question, are you punching when it comes to your partner?
Yeah.
And just to clarify that, it means punching above your weight.
Yes.
You know, so we don't get into any dangerous territory
Yeah,
there.
good stuff. Hey, fellas, I was reading the news today.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a story in there about this. There's a mayor that's recently been sworn in, won the popular vote, got sworn in. This is over in Mexico. Wins the popular vote, gets sworn in, starts work on your Monday there, and then on Thursday got beheaded. And
Wow.
it sort of got me thinking, what's the worst job you've ever had?
Beheaded, was it like by a gang or what was the deal? Cartel?
We don't need to get into the Keyzie's detail. But what's the worst job you've ever had, Jase?
Oh, look, that's really... I've had some shockers. I made orthopedic pads for a while, which involved burning rubber.
Did you make Keyzie's shoes?
I may have made his shoes, actually. But seriously, the worst job I ever had was stock taking in this massive business that shall remain nameless. And literally my job was to count ball bearings and screws and nails. And there were... we're
What about
talking,
nuts?
nuts. We're talking big boxes of the bastards.
Yeah.
And I literally, and I look back on it now and I think to myself, actually, was this person taking the piss?
Yeah.
Because it was ridiculous. You know, it'd be like 4,000 ball bearings.
On the dot. I think that's unlikely. I think you've just made that number up.
Well, you know what I mean. And actually, I'll be honest with you, I got to the point where I did start making it up.
Yeah.
I just started guesstimating and going, let's just say 5,432.
How old were you when this was going on?
About 13.
Yeah, good. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. My worst ever job, and to be honest, I haven't had super terrible jobs. I'm very lucky. It was probably my first ever job. I worked in, I was 15, and I worked in the footwear department in Rebel Sport.
Oh, yeah.
And I had no footwear training. I had no idea.
How much training do you need?
Well, you're supposed to do like a 2-day course thing to learn how to recommend shoes to people.
Oh, right.
But I was like, nah, boring. And so literally I was there.
It was an optional 2-day course.
It was.
Wow.
Which is really stupid.
Yeah.
And all I was doing was the thumb thing. You put your foot right back in the shoe and I'll put my thumb
on the toe there.
That's right. But apparently that's just for growing children. I did that to everyone that came in and just recommended the most expensive shoes.
Was that only for growing children?
Apparently.
You used your thumb on them.
On the shoes, Jase.
Oh, right, on their shoes. Yeah.
You know, you put the heel back. You put your heel back in the shoe and you make sure there's a thumb's worth of space at the front there.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, maybe.
No one ever did that when I was buying shoes.
Oh, they always did that.
Oh, right.
Yeah. You always, your little tester there.
Maybe, I'm pretty sure it's for growing children. Maybe I'm making that up. 3, 4,
Well,
8,
you didn't
3.
do the course, so what do you know?
Yeah, I have no idea. That lasted 6 months.
Oh, my God. Seriously?
Yeah, 6 months. And it was set, like, I was just like, by the end of it, I was like, I don't want to work ever. I'll just stay at my parents' house forever or do radio.
What about you, Mogi?
Probably this. Or I also did furniture removal over in Australia in my mid-20s.
Yes.
For 4 years.
Far out.
Don't
That's
know
how
why.
you got that bloody build, though, eh?
Oh, yeah. That's how I
man.
got this sweet back that I'm rocking.
Sure.
Right.
Where it's really sore. all the
4
time.
years, 5 days a week,
6 days a week.
6 days a week.
4 years. Absolutely,
Holy cow.
absolute insanity.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I was steamed most of the time, so time just flies.
Yeah.
When you're, frankly, irresponsibly steamed.
Yeah, not anymore though, not now.
Nah.
Yeah,
Backbone
yeah.
now.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, should we put it out there to the audience
Yes,
on
please.
3483? What's the worst job you've ever had?
3483, send it on through. You can win yourself
Can we
a
get a
TUI
talk
prize
back
pack.
as well, for God's sake?
Can I ask, Keyzie, just to clarify here, is this vanilla radio?
No, it's not. It's not vanilla enough.
You sure?
No.
Yeah, well, I think the way that we kicked it off,
Okay, yeah, fair.
that took the vanilla out of it.
Yeah. But I'll let you know, Jase.
And Keyzie's stuff about thumbing with the kids.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't thumbing with kids. I was helping
using
them.
your thumb on them.
Yeah.
and the
Yeah,
shoes. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thumbing kids. Yeah, let's just leave it out there like that. And then go to a Bruce Springsteen song, yeah? That's a great idea.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Yes, indeed. Smashing Pumpkins there on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon, hump day. It doesn't feel like hump day, to be fair.
Does it? Well, it feels like a Monday.
Yeah, it feels like Monday.
Yeah.
The time
Feels like
is
Monday about 6 months ago.
the time is 4:25. Now we're talking the worst jobs you've ever had.
Yeah.
We've mentioned ours, and as you can imagine, Keyzie, the texts have been pouring in.
On 3483, as I can imagine, Jase, you
Can
are
you imagine
correct.
that, man?
And of course, every text in the draw for a TUI prize pack. Just to update, Jase, you were counting ball or bearings, doing
Yes.
a stock take when you were 13. Mine was working in footwear at Rebel Sport, and Mike was lifting furniture for 4 years in Aussie.
Yeah. It's probably the duration that made that so bad. I've got another one which we'll get to soon.
Yeah, cool. So heaps of texts coming through, 3483. Worst job, I was an escort for a night. Turns out I was rubbish.
Were you?
There's a text, Mike, on 3483 from someone who lasted one night and then obviously...
That'd be an interesting thing to find out, because in your mind you'd be thinking to yourself, well, how hard can it be? And then you find out. And if it's not very,
Well, exactly.
Jeez,
then you get fired.
I nearly pulled the trigger there, and I'm glad I didn't.
G'day, lads. I used to work on an orchard picking birds out of nets. and they weren't always dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, actually, to be fair, I've done a bit of orchard work too, down in your part neck of the woods there, Keyzie. Kiwi fruit pruning and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and planting it was horrendous.
I did some of that in North Queensland, mango picking.
Right.
And they give you these special clippers thingies, which are sort of like 5 or 6 feet long, so you can get into the top of the branches. And when it's to cut it off at the stem,
Yes.
but you have to cut it in a certain way because the sap is acidic, and if you get that onto the mangoes, then they just go straight in the bin.
Oh, wow.
And I got there right at the end when there was no mangoes left. I worked all day long, made $20 for the day because there's no mangoes left, and at the end of the day they fired everyone.
Wow.
It was a ripper.
Excellent.
Actually, that was a shitter of a job too.
What about this one here? This from Jordan. I worked as a shit stirrer for 2 weeks in college, driving a little motorboat around sewage treatment ponds because the pump was broken. That can't be real.
Yeah, that'd be real.
Yeah, they
You
totally.
used to do something like that, Jase, didn't you?
Smells fine to me, yeah. Yeah, I was a log breaker.
Oh, that's right, the turd stirring plant.
Yeah.
Where is that? What plant was that?
Pocono, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, they have one out there. Okay.
Yeah.
In my early 20s, I sold funeral plans as a telemarketer.
Funeral plans.
Oh, my God.
That is so depressing.
Oh, and I've done that as well. I've done telemarketing, and I've got to be honest with you, I hated it so much, and I literally just made them up.
What do you mean you made them up?
You'd pretend, I'd be
You'd have
pretending to talk to someone, and I'd just fill these things out.
There was no one on the end of the line.
There's no one on the end of the line.
So you made up doing that, and then you made up how many ball bearings and stuff there were.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then you make up everything you say on this show.
Yeah, so I'm keeping it regular, you know?
There is a bit of a chain. Keep the text coming through on 3483. Someone here was specialising in animal husbandry for pigs.
Oh, yeah. Now
That's fun, isn't it?
takes a strong wrist.
Yeah, it certainly does. Scrubbing urinals and cleaning out sanitary bins. Yeah, look, I had a 12-hour shift making sure bread buns were separated on a conveyor belt. Hey, you two, apart.
Yeah.
Easy there. So keep those texts coming on 3483 and we might dish out some TUI prize packs.
I think I quite like that.
The thing about all of those is not only are they terrible jobs, they'd also be horrendously paid,
Yes.
which is such a terrible mix.
Well-
It should be the other way around.
Which is always that combination, isn't it? Terrible jobs, crap pay.
That's right. So good, Jase. 3483, send your text through and you can win a TUI prize pack.
The Hauraki Big Show. Weekdays from 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Green Day there on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon. The time is 4:38. You know, fellas,
Do you?
been thinking to myself, we're in spring and you see all this new life blooming. Flowers opening up in the sun.
That's
and
blooming.
Yeah, it's blooming, man.
You literally just said
Yeah, I
that.
know. I shouldn't have said
Flowers
blooming so early.
opening up.
Seeing
You know,
plants
birds-
get bigger and expand.
birds tweeting in the trees.
They do that sort of the year round.
Yeah.
Oh, not at my place, they don't.
Flying animals making noises
Yeah.
in the bush.
Now, can we concentrate, please? But it makes me think, you know, with all this new life and the blooming vegetation, what a great time it would be to try something different, make a new start in your relationship. Maybe you've been with someone for, like myself. I was with my wife for 14 years before I thought to myself, you know what? I think she deserves Hoity J full time.
Wow.
Did you make an honest woman out of her, man?
I think she's got more dishonest since we got married.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's par for the course.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, our mates at Diamonds on Richmond,
Yeah.
they've given us, for free,
It didn't cost us a cent.
didn't cost us a cent, a $10,000 engagement ring to give away.
And
How
it's been
good.
valued independently, privately, at $1 million. So,
Who,
wow.
because you said that yesterday, who actually
unreal.
valued it? Which company?
Huh?
Which
It
company?
wasn't a company.
Oh, it wasn't?
No. I got a mate of mine to do it. Steve.
Does Steve do it for a living?
He has, he's certainly seen his fair share of diamond rings come across his desk, put it that way.
Yeah. I
it
could
that
have
way,
had a look at
Keyzie.
it and probably valued it too. I used to run a pawn shop.
Hey, they have given us a $10,000 engagement ring, old Diamonds on Richmond.
So good.
And we want to give it to you. If you'd like to win it, hauraki.co.nz. Enter the draw there, and then you just got to tell us a wee bit about how you'd like to propose to your other half.
I was thinking about this. Bloody nosy, isn't it? It's none of our business.
Well,
Can we
it's
change
not,
that rule?
but we're giving everyone a $10,000 ring.
I know, but, it's private how you're going to propose.
And,
It's sort of...
and also, the opportunity of having our input.
Oh, yes, that's
So
right.
I think that's
Forgot about
worth
that,
$1 million in itself.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're giving away a $2 million prize.
Wow.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Diamonds on Richmond, you guys really lucked out. What about this one? I'd have the bonfire, this is from Anonymous.
Oh, yes.
I'd have the bonfire going at home, looking out over the great city of Napier and the ocean.
Oh.
I'd then pretend to fall off the hill
Napier Hill, that's nice up there, Hospital Hill.
and then pop up on one knee, and then all the flowers would jump out of a bush screaming,
Yes.
"My wife!" So she goes from thinking this person has potentially died
Yes.
to be, oh, cool,
A state of shock.
Jase, Mike, and Keyzie are here.
Yeah.
So that's great.
That's great. That's good, that. I'm not sure of the relevance of the bonfire there.
And
But having said that, I'm always fond of a bonfire. I don't know about you, fellas.
yeah, absolutely.
What you could equally say, we'll be up there and I've got my water slide going,
Well, you could, yeah. What about this one? This is from Anonymous, and this one is kind of the polar opposite.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do it at my hometown beach in the Coromandel. The lads can help me with the ring, but otherwise stay out of it.
That's excellent.
That's actually top 3 for me.
Yeah,
that
that's
one.
really good.
That's good.
Give me the ring and then just leave.
He gives me the vibe. He's ready, Mogi. He's
yeah,
ready
exactly
to go.
right.
He's
He doesn't
onto
need
it.
us around there buggering things up.
Yes.
Okay, here's this one final one, all right, for Diamonds on Richmond. I met my lovely partner Anonymous 4 years ago at the Village Bar in Patumahoe. It holds a special place in our hearts and would love to propose to her there. My idea is to go for a dinner on an ordinary day when all the locals are there. At a certain time, all the locals go outside, leaving us alone in the bar. I get down on one knee and propose. Hopefully she says yes, and then our band, which features Hoity J on sax, Keyzie on the drums and Mogi on vocals, comes out and serenades us with Bon Jovi's Bed of Roses,
Oh, my God.
which is my favourite song.
Oh, of course it is.
And then we drink responsibly and durry up a storm with the locals and our special band.
Mean. We
Yeah.
hit the pokies.
And that's from Anonymous. Yeah,
Nice.
sure, man. That sounds great. I'd be down
Sounds
for
good.
that.
Sick.
So, hauraki.co.nz, get yourself in the draw there if you want to win that 10K Diamonds on Richmond engagement ring. And if you head along to Diamonds on Richmond before October 25th and use the secret code, my wife, say it to them, they will pay the GST for you, which is like buying it duty free, which is a hell of a saving. A huge
good.
saving.
So
Baying.
good.
What? Buying? Did
It's Rage Against the Machine.
I say baying?
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back, you massive backbones. Hope you're getting through your hump day tickety-boo. You're listening to The Big Show, brought to you by Tui. Hey, have we had
Is
any
that the
good
one, man?
texts about the Tui billboards today, Keyzie, on 3483?
Yeah.
Next year's our year.
Yeah, right. No, there's a good one here.
You like that one?
There's heaps of texts coming in about the TUI billboards. Yeah, right.
Got it.
I just came up with that one just then.
That was cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to send that. I'm going to fly that one up the flagpole to management, Keyzie.
Yeah,
Good job, brother.
Send it up the chain.
I think that's going to get its own billboard, Jase. That was wicked.
How amazing would that be, an idea that you've come up with on a massive billboard?
And you get
fellas?
paid jack for it.
You get paid nothing. They
But
just
you might
steal
get a
it.
TUI prize pack.
Maybe.
Maybe. We'll see how we go.
Yeah. My worry is that we ask people for it every day,
Yeah, because...
three times a day.
Well, people forget about it, Keyzie.
That's what you're forgetting is they forget about it.
Oh, that's true. That's a
you
good
know,
point.
they go, oh, yeah, that's right. I was going to come up with that TUI billboard
That's
idea.
right. I was had some time set aside to come up with an idea.
Yeah,
well, you
right.
know, the one thing I know about our listeners, without doubt, is they're very clever. I mean, look at that good bastard Rory and the stuff he sends in.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, 30% of our show is based on what Rory texts us.
Well, that's only in the breaks. We haven't actually ever mentioned him on air, but
He sends jokes through.
he does.
Yeah.
We're going to do a Rory special, Rory, just so you know. It's going to be 50,000 hours long.
Some coming through right now. Jase's Peugeot is cool. Yeah, right. Remember when you were going to buy a Peugeot about
Yeah.
a year ago?
I was so close, too. So close.
Keyzie's eyes are to the front. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's true. Read that top one, man.
Nah, I'm all good, man. And of course, we just need to make sure that, that they can be read on air or put on a billboard.
Some of the filth that gets through is just out of this world. We've got one here about the Navy boat. It would never get read in a million years.
Yeah, we definitely wouldn't. By the way, the reason we're bringing this up is because Tui has brought back the legendary Year Right campaign. Have a look out there, and if you see one, read it, because we can all use a bit of a laugh. Hey, fellas.
Am I right?
Yeah, totally.
Can you not just leave me to sit in the stink of that, please?
Now, listen.
Times are tough, eh, Keyzie?
Yeah, man.
We could all do with a laugh, man.
Yeah, totally, Mogi. I'm with you, Hundy. Now, listen, coming up, I need to ask you guys a question. All right? Are you ready?
Oh, God.
What's the question?
I'm not going to do it now. I'll ask after these next two tunes.
Nice tease.
Right.
Starting off with the Foo Fighters.
This is a tune.
Is it?
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
Red Hot Chili Peppers there on the radio. Hauraki.
They're so hot.
Yeah, I'm kind of over them, to be honest. I know I shouldn't say that because we just played them, but I've been listening to them for 15 years and I'm over it.
Well,
I'm just being honest.
Stevie Wonder thought they were pretty good. He covered that song.
Oh, did he cover them?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah,
No,
that's-
the Chili Peppers wrote Higher Ground, and then Stevie Wonder was like, that is mean, man.
Far out.
Gives a burn on that.
Gives a hoon on that.
Hey, speaking of which, I was at the front, Keyzie. That was an absolute shocker.
Jace.
Now, listen, I wanted to ask you guys a question. And it's to do with your partners. And you both have lovely wives, as do I. And I wonder if you guys have been told on occasions, or more than one occasion, geez, Mogi, you're punching, mate.
Right.
In reference to your partner. Or, geez, Keyzie, you're punching, mate. In reference to your partner. And just to clarify, I know 99% of the audience out there will know what I'm talking about, but maybe 1% don't know what I mean by punching. Obviously, the idea is you're punching above your weight, and the insinuation is you're a hideous beast and your partner is an attractive human being.
That's right.
Because
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, that's happened to me many times.
Oh, hundies. Yeah, definitely.
In my life. And,
Yeah.
because I look at you, Mogi, and you're an absolute stallion of a man, and you know how I feel about your looks and stuff. I find
Yeah.
it distracting. So maybe it's not the case for you. And I mean, Keyzie, you've got a kind of... Keyzie, you're sort of...
Yeah.
You've got a... How can I... Like a goofy charm.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not ever happened to you.
Well, no, it certainly has happened.
Right.
Because every relationship, there's always one person is bound to be punching regardless. You're never going to be the same.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And of course, everyone, I think you should think that you are punching.
Right.
So I think that I am punching.
Oh, I most certainly know I am.
Yeah. Mogi?
Well, I mean, this is the thing, Joe. It's like you saying that I'm, an Adonis and all those sorts of things. My wife is, probably the most wonderful human being on the face of the earth. But in the looks department, she's rugged. We're sort of talking a 2.5, and that was deliberate on my part, outside of the fact that I fell in love with her. But I don't need the spotlight shifting away from old Mogi.
Okay,
that's a good point.
That's why I brought it up, man. That's why I brought
and
it
that
up.
answers a lot. Because I've
totally.
been wanting to ask about that.
Well, and the reason that I bring it up is because I had a random memory today, and it was something that affected me back in the day, and I've obviously never forgotten about it. And this is a totally true story. I was at a party, right? And this was
Hang on, that doesn't sound right.
No, this is many years ago when I sort of went to parties.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I was talking to this fella, and he said, "Oh, I know your wife. Your wife is blah, blah, blah." And I went, "Yeah, that's right." And he said, "Oh," and he sort of gave me a quizzical look, and he went, "And you're her husband?" And I went, "Yeah, that's right." And he looked at me and he said, "Oh, I thought you'd be much better looking."
Yeah.
And the thing that struck me about it was it wasn't said in jest.
Like he was genuinely surprised.
He was genuinely
being
surprised
earnest.
that I was such a hideous beast.
Yeah.
And that this very attractive, beautiful, wonderful human being deemed to sort of spend even time with me or be near me.
Yeah.
And I've never forgotten that.
And nor should you.
But I mean,
What do you
I mean,
want us to do? Like make you feel better?
well,
or like,
Yeah.
I'm obviously not.
I mean, the guy knows his stuff.
I'm obviously not a complete beast.
well,
is
the
what I
guy,
wrote.
but the guy had eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think he might have been pretty steamed or something.
Well, he
Yeah, and
sounded-
even still, like normally you get steamed and people look better. And still,
Yeah, good point. Is MGMT.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers there on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon. The time is 5:23.
Hey, fellas, a text here on 3483. Just want to double check. Did I hear correctly? You said the Chili Peppers wrote Higher Ground. Incorrect, guys. I think it was the other way around.
do your research, that's all I'll say.
Yeah. Yeah, because Stevie Wonder definitely covered them. Hey, fellas, it was announced today, Laneways, the lineup for 2025. And it is an alternative and indie music festival. It's been around for a few years.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's aimed at people sort of,
My age.
late teens, early 20s, you know,
Sure.
pop, club, all this sort of
I'd
stuff.
stretch to mid-20s, late 20s.
Well, that was the
You
kind
know,
of age
early-
bracket we were looking at when we started it up.
oh, yeah.
So we turned this into a Jase started Laneways yarn, are we? Okay, we'll go, that's that
No,
age
but anyway,
bracket. The
yes.
age bracket. So I thought what I'd do is I'll read you out the artists that are going to be there. Some of these artists, however, are ones that Pugs and I have made up.
Oh,
You just have to tell me, and you guys can agree on it and lock it in whether
Righto.
you think it's made up or real.
yeah.
All right, here we go. First one, Bieber Doobie.
Bieber Doobie.
Bieber Doobie.
Oh, I think we had a yarn about that yesterday. I think that one's real.
Bieber Doobie? Correct.
Yes.
Real person
Cracked it.
coming to Laneways, which is exciting. All right, next
I
one.
saw a photo of her yesterday. That's when we brought that up. I was having the underpug. She was on the darts, Jace.
I'm
She was
into
on the
it.
darts.
Yeah. Bieber Doobie. That's correct.
Bieber Doobie.
Hamdi.
Hamdi. Feels like a no.
No.
Real person.
Hamdi.
Or-
Can you spell that for me?
Hamdi.
Hamdi.
Yeah.
Stupid
Righto.
name.
Do you know Hamdi?
I don't know.
Keyzie?
I don't know any of these artists or bands. All right. Tash Marbles.
Oh,
No.
that's not true. We've got a Tash Sultana, but I've never heard of Tash Marbles.
Jace Tash Marbles.
No.
Correct.
Got
Not
him.
touch my balls.
Yeah, that's a made up one. Okay. Beam Flicker. Beam.
No.
BEAM.
Well,
Flicker with no E.
if that's actually what they call themselves, that's disgraceful.
Yeah.
I'm going to go no.
No.
You are correct. That is not a real band.
Thank you.
Pugs made that one up. Disgusting.
Filth.
Julie. Julie.
That feels like a real human.
Yes.
Just Julie?
Yes.
Correct.
Oh, we're killing this.
That's a
man.
real person. Keith.
I'm going to say yes. A little bit of irony there. I'd call myself Keith. Yeah,
No.
that's all right.
Okay, well, it's not a real person.
It's not a real person.
Yeah, so-
Well, I'm sure there is a real Keith out there.
It's
Oh,
not a real
yeah.
band
It's not a real band.
or artist.
Keith, that's good.
Yeah.
Well done, Jace.
Thanks, mate.
Okay,
I to the front, Mogi.
Yeah, good.
God, he's a stallion, isn't he?
Dan Gleeballs.
Come on. Let's be serious here, can we,
What?
please?
No, Dan, he's a really talented
That's
acoustic.
a no. That's a no.
That's
Okay.
a no, Keyzie.
Dan Gleeballs is a
Yeah.
made-up person. Pugs again, pure filth.
Yeah, it had to be Pugs.
All right. Remy Wolf.
Yeah, that sounds real.
Yeah, okay, Remy Wolf.
Correct.
Cool.
Real artist.
Can I just say you've done some poor work on the fake band names?
I don't know what you're talking about. Grogan Josh. Real or fake?
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
Metallica there on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon. The time is 5:37. I believe there's a text you want to read out there, Keyzie, on 3483.
It's just another update from this person who's arguing with Mogi about who originally wrote Higher Ground, whether it was Stevie Wonder or the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Of course, we all know that the Chili's wrote it and then Stevie Wonder covered it.
Yeah.
They've just gone, did the research, Stevie Wonder composition, 1973 album Inner Visions.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they're getting that from.
It is on his 1973 album Inner Visions, but the Red Hot
yeah.
Chili Peppers, their version of it came out in 1963.
Yeah, right, okay. Hey, the Black Clash, fellas.
Yes, man.
It is back next year, the 18th of January, which is a Saturday. And it's back down in Christchurch, which is bloody exciting too. Went off last time, didn't it?
Oh, how good.
It always goes off, Keyzie. You
It
know what I'm
always
saying?
goes off.
It always does.
Always.
The best part of it is getting an Uber home at the end, when there's just thousands of people out
Yeah.
there, and you have to go for a bit of a wander.
It is great.
I don't mind that actually, waiting for an Uber because I have a couple of durries.
Yeah, that's
Because
right.
I do the commentary on that with the Black Clash.
Well,
it's
you used
huge
to.
pressure
You
because
used to.
because it's massively popular. I think it's their biggest
is the-
rating show of the year.
It
right.
is. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
And that's why they've decided to just like really zero in on who's doing what and make the right calls around who's presenting it, etc.
It's actually started going off because we've got, of course, there's the spas, Keyzie.
That's right, the hot
that
spring
they have.
spas. Yep.
And ever since, like Keyzie and I, we spent a bit of time in there last year, didn't we, mate? Well, this year as it was, in the hot spring spas there, just on the sideline, inside the boundary. And honestly, the ratings that year absolutely gone through the roof because everybody tuned in to see Keizie's burnt meat patty
patty
nips.
nipples.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
glad I just supported you on that yarn and then got to I thought it was going to be a burn about Jase's commentary and it was about my burnt meat patties.
Which, to be honest with you, man, I don't mind them.
You don't mind them?
But one of the things...
Thanks, Jase.
What I like watching, because it was a bloody sunny bastard of a day there, was Keyzie putting suntan lotion all over his chest and all over his burnt meat patty nipples. It was like he was putting mayonnaise on them.
It's like I was making a little burger hoity, Jay. It was actually banana boat lotion that I was putting on them.
Right. Didn't you cut your finger on a beer can that night
I cut my finger on a beer can.
and had to go to the A&E or something?
Yeah, and then they were like, oh, we'll fix that straight away. But I was shirtless and they actually thought I was going because I had burnt meat patties. And they were like, we'll get those sorted. And I was like, no, it was my finger. Hey, so have you heard Chris Gale's coming?
Did they tell you to go and get? Did they tell you to go and get them looked at?
They actually got everybody to the hospital to come and have a gaze.
Yeah, they're doing a case study on it, which is pretty exciting, to be honest. I get $13 for that, which is quite
cool.
great.
Great.
Yeah.
And
So anyway, the Black Clash.
The Black Clash, blackclash.co.nz. If you want tickets, there's also the R18 Party Zone, the ACC and DB Export Ultra Zone. That is where we'll be. It is the 7th annual Hot Spring Spa T20 Black Clash in association with Wolf. Good stuff, fellas.
Tune, a bit of Pearl Jam for you.
The Hauraki Big Show podcast.
Pearl Jam there on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon. The time is 5:45.
Sure is, fellas. It's the Hauraki Big Show. Did you say that? I think you did. Hey, fellas, my wife's got a book out from the library.
Oh, well.
And it's a book about how to transform, everyday
your
meals.
bedroom and... Oh, sorry.
No, everyday meals into healthier versions.
Oh, yes.
Without noticing a difference,
Oh, there's no
apparently.
difference, yeah.
So we've been going through this, like last night, for example, we had a healthy pasta. A pasta bake sort of carbonara thing.
Is that not healthy?
It's yummy, and there's carbs and all sorts of stuff in there. But she's like, no, but we should try this because they reckon that you won't be able to notice a difference. And I have to admit, I didn't. It was delicious. So I just got her to text me through some of the ingredients. So instead of...
Is that true, Keyzie?
Yeah, genuinely, it was delicious.
It's
Good
not
eating.
what you were saying off air.
My Jase, look, just what I
Support.
say off air, support and extend.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Thanks, Jase. Thank you. So the pasta was a carbonara, healthy version. So instantly I was like, hell yeah, I love carbonara.
You do.
Except for instead of cream, you get avocado and some water and you
Yes.
blitz it up.
Right, yep.
And that gives it the creamy texture,
Yep, I've had that before.
which is delicious, yeah. And it works really well. Instead of traditional pieces of pasta, it was rice noodles, thick rice noodles.
Yes. I've done that.
Yep, so that's great. Wilted spinach,
Yes.
all through it. And because it's wilted and in there, by the time you're chewing it, you don't even notice it's in there. You're getting your iron.
No, that's good.
Delicious spinach.
You get a little bit of citrus in there to release that iron.
Lemon rind.
Great.
Yep, so
Great.
there's lemon rind in there. Pepper. So it's good.
Cracked pepper or just
Cracked.
Just
or
powder
white pepper powder?
Cracked pepper.
Cracker. You cracker.
That's right, I did. And then instead of cheese, grated tofu.
Oh, yeah.
But like vintage sort of aged tofu, and it's got a wee bit of a kick to it.
That stuff's good. Eating.
And
Is
then
it like a kind of kimchi? Sort of a rotten tofu?
a
like
kimchi is a fermented cabbage.
Yeah, I know.
It's completely
Yeah,
different.
I know, but is it like
What?
a fermented sort of rotten tofu?
It's like cheese.
Right.
You know,
I would recommend, Keyzie, and look, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Grated tofu is a great replacement for cheese.
Yeah.
But they also have just a fake cheese that you can use,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is really good as well.
And that is
It's
good?
got also it's yellow like a normal cheese. It's got a cheesy sort of a texture. It doesn't melt exactly the same, but it's very close. It's just sort of made up of God knows what chemicals.
Right.
But you would never tell the difference.
Okay, well, I'll let my wife know.
You do.
There's pretty strong ties to both cancer and Alzheimer's. But,
Right.
But
Yummy,
you
though?
could barely tell the difference.
Yeah, cool.
Right,
That's
okay.
great. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was the cut. And honestly, she was telling me through it, and I was like, ugh, it doesn't sound very good. And then I ate it, and I was like, wow, this is delicious.
Yes.
And she was like, you like that?
You like that, boy?
Yeah, you like that, eh? You love that, is what she was saying. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty good, to be honest.
Pretty good.
So
She's like, oh, yeah, you want more, huh? Yeah. What?
you left out the fact that there were also
Active yeast.
active yeast. but-
Activated yeast.
Now, that's called nooch.
Is
Is the
it?
street name for that, your
Right.
activated yeast. And that is a good sort of a Parmesan replacement. You shake that all over the top. Is that what you did
Yeah,
with
that
it?
must have been what she did.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Because you will.
Yeah. So no, I'd forgotten that ingredient.
Yes.
Okay.
And then afterwards, she's like, seriously, do you like it? You enjoying these meals? I was like, yes. She's like, oh, I can make you pudding. And so she made an ice cream sundae,
Oh,
which I was like, oh, here we go. Good luck. So what she's got is she's had avocados in the fridge, and she scoops them out with an ice cream scoop.
yeah.
3 big things.
The fridge or the freezer?
No, in the fridge. Because
Wow.
the freezer, they'll be frozen. You wouldn't be able to scoop them.
Oh, yes.
Mogi.
Well, what do you do with your normal ice cream?
That's a good point.
Do you
But
keep your ice cream in the fridge as well?
the avocado texture, Jase.
Sort of needs to be
freezes.
somewhere in between, doesn't it? Needs
It
something in
does.
between a fridge and a
Sure.
freezer because that seems too soft. I think they'd be the same consistency in the fridge. The difference, it'd just be cold.
Yeah.
So she's buggered that up.
Yeah, well, she did, to be honest. That's what I said. And then instead of wafer, it was rice crackers.
Yeah,
You
cracker.
You jam them into the avocado, and then instead of hundreds and thousands, coconut shavings, and then instead of like a strawberry drizzle, it was beetroot juice
Nice.
and coconut sugar.
Yum.
Sounds so good, Keyzie.
So just, if anyone out there's thinking of having a healthy meal, give it a go.
That is
Delicious.
good eating. For
Yeah.
yeah,
sure.
good. That's
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
Queen there on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday evening. The time is 4 minutes to 6 o'clock. Now, earlier in the day, we were talking about the worst jobs of all time and the worst jobs that we've had. After 6, we're going to do a bit of a recap on that. And old Pugsan is going to join us in the studio to talk about the worst job he ever had, and it was a shocker.
It was
to
a
be
shocker.
fair.
So if you're listening right now and you just can think straight away, I have had a job that is just the absolute worst. Send it through to 3483 right now, and you could win a TUI prize pack.
Yeah, good
pits.
stuff.
Yeah.
Also, what's on the TV with Mike Minogue and all that jazz. All that after 6.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike, and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
It bloody is Hoity, Jay and Minogue and Keyzie on The Big Show. And The Big Show is brought to you by TUI.
Tweet. That's right. Keep an eye out. They've got the old TUI Yeah Right campaign back up and running. Iconic campaign. Because in this day and age, we could all do with a little laugh, eh, fellas? Fellas.
Now listen, on the podcast
Oh, yeah,
outro,
just crack on.
on the podcast outro today, which is our warm-up to the radio show,
Oh,
which we
yeah,
then
yeah,
send
yeah,
up for
yeah,
the
yeah,
public
yeah,
to
yeah.
listen to. We did something we've never done. It was the first time today. We got about 5 minutes of into the podcast and went, no, this isn't good enough for the
Yeah,
punters
it's
out
true.
there.
Start it again.
And we had to start again because it was a shocker.
Yeah, Jase was just pumping out the filth, and we just said, look, even with a warning at the front of the end of this, it's not going to. We're going to get shut down.
Because it's not the sort of thing you want committed in digital form to our podcast page, accessible for anyone.
Excuse me?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, you definitely don't want it in digital form.
What? See, he's still spewing the filth.
No. It was more that everyone was in a hurrah of a mood.
Yeah.
They were actually. Yeah.
And so
Logie
we
got
just
But we're good now.
we were all good. We sorted it out.
Yeah.
There were a bit of fisticuffs, and it's all good now. But what's the clip today, Keyzie?
This clip is about an encounter. That's all I've got written here.
Oh, yeah.
An
God.
encounter. Hopefully it's about Hoity J.
As I was walking into the dairy, another fella was walking into the dairy with me, and he looked at me and smiled and said, "Don't worry, Jase, I'm not going to give you my bike." Our chat yesterday on air,
How
and
good.
I went, "Oh, good on you, mate." That was quite funny coming home last night. It just goes to show you that people do actually listen to our radio show.
That was
fellas.
a callback to something that happened in yesterday's show where Jase met a local weirdo, as you're wont to do, Jase. Can I say
am.
that?
Yes,
and
I am.
This kind individual followed Jase home and tried to give him his push bike, even though he was in his late 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take my bike, and then made motorbike noises and hooned off. So good. If you want to listen to that podcast and the highlights of today's show, they're always available 7:30 p.m. every weekday evening, put together by old Pugsan.
Yeah, great stuff. Hey, remember, text us 3483. What's the worst job you've ever had? In the meantime, here's Franz Ferdinand.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
Faith No More there on the radio, Hauraki Big Show. Now, earlier in the show, in the sort of 4 to 5 hour, we were talking about the worst jobs we ever had. And all three of us in the studio here have had some absolute shockers. And we got a few sent through on the text machine on 3483.
We have. There's a good one here. I did one day at a timber processing factory full of sawdust. Boss gave me the job of sweeping the whole factory. It took all day. Then the boss decided with 30 minutes to go in the day, he would give me an air blower, knocked out half the factory in the last 30 minutes.
What
Got
a
him.
bastard. Plenty of texts are coming through on 3483, but we've actually got Pugsan in the studio because he was listening to all these texts and saying none of these hold a candle to a job he once did.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I said, Keyzie.
What did you say?
I said the
How are you, you stallion, by the way?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate.
Hey, thanks for having me. No, look, just comparably, particularly to this job and pretty much every job I've ever had, the worst one I had was a security guard gig. So I was looking for some work. I've been a lifeguard for a long time. I was trying to get a bit of extra money, and I thought, you know what, it'd be chill, man. I can just be a big dude that stands in a shop and just sort of hangs out. Threatens people, you know me, massively threatening. And so I did training for like maybe a month or for like a month or 2 months on how to be a security guard.
Is
You know,
it
you
sort of martial arts and stuff like that?
You got that alarm there, just ready to go? No, not right now, but just in case.
Yeah.
No martial arts, Jase.
Right.
Sorry.
It was more sort of. Just be careful on the button there.
How to put your
Assailant to sleep.
your security jacket on the right way around. That sort of stuff.
I would literally say that was about the depth in which they trained us. They gave us some like pizza every couple of weekends when you go out there and watch these videos on how to make sure you don't get sued by people. And so my first ever shift finally came up after training, and I was living in Wellington at the time. And the first part of it was in a Liquorland in the Wellington CBD.
Yeah.
And I was sort of standing there after maybe 2 hours, and I thought, after 2 months of training, not once did they teach me how to apprehend somebody. If
Yeah.
somebody walked in here, looked me in the eyeballs, picked up a bottle of vodka and just pissed off.
Right.
And I was like, okay, so I'm massively unprepared here. Clearly you need to have some kind of skill taking somebody down before you take the job on. And then I had a second part of my shift. And it was Friday night. My shift started at midnight, the second part. And that was at Cuba Mall Burger King.
Yeah.
Now, Mogi, you lived in Wellington for a bit.
That place was an absolute hellhole, especially at that time of night. It was just absolutely all. I remember you go in there and it would be like nobody had eaten any of their foods. It was just thrown around the restaurant.
Yes.
Just absolute steamed units. Just a disgusting.
It's on the
Shocker
way
of a
from a
joint.
lot of student accommodation
Yeah.
into Courtney Place, which is like where the town was at that time.
Yeah.
And so it's after midnight. I'm standing in there, and it is like a war zone. I feel like I'm in Vietnam. It's going crazy. And then one of the staff from Burger King comes up to me and says, "Hey, man, Can you just go sort out whatever's happened in the bathroom there? And I'm thinking, oh, geez, like somebody's clearly creating an issue in there, or somebody's stolen something, or somebody's
Biffo.
having a hard time, or I need to biffo somebody out of there, which I'm already apprehensive about. And all they did was gesture to the toilet. So I walk over to the Cuban Mall Burger King toilets, open the door, and it is like a Tarantino film, but brown, in that room.
Right.
It was like somebody committed a war crime.
And that's your job.
Well, that was my first question, was what the do you want me to do about that?
Yeah.
And so I had to wait it out until, and I'm borderline in tears at this point. Like, I'm like 18 and I'm way out of my depth. I don't know how to deal with anybody or biffo anybody, and I'm not cleaning up poos. And so I literally waited till the next dude turned up, and I just got in my car, drove home, called the boss. I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
It's not happening. Shocker. And maybe it's for some people.
Yeah.
Not for
Sure.
me.
Good on you, man.
Cleaning the old steamers off the walls there.
Yeah.
Literally all over the walls.
Yeah.
A lot of texts coming in on 3483. Obviously not as terrible as Pugsan's job. I was once briefly a madam of one of Auckland's main gentlemen's clubs. Worst job of all time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Seems all good.
Wow.
I was a door-to-door vacuum cleaner salesman. It totally sucked.
Is that from Rory?
Yeah,
Nah,
was that
it's not. It's just-
Rory special?
That's not. Also, earlier a guy said that he used to have to drive a dinghy boat around a turd stirring pond after the pump broke. And I was like, surely that's not a real job. And then he texts back saying, absolutely a real job. Motorboat had the PVC pipe to extend the throttle handle. It kept falling off. So I'd have to bang it back on before the boat crashed into the side of the pond. Shittiest job ever, quite literally.
Yum.
So that's cool. And a whole lot of people that worked in factories, for example, I worked in a Bicky factory, sat at the conveyor belt for 7 hours making sure the biscuits were the right way up. So keep the text coming through on 3483 and you can win a TUI prize pack.
Yeah, keep it coming through.
Beautiful.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
Yeah, boy, talking heads on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday evening. I tell you what, fellas, I feel like going home right now and watching a bit of TV, so let's talk TV.
La, 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 la.
What's on the telly with Mike Minogue?
I could have kept on going for hours there, but
Yeah, man, it was so good.
You can only get so much for a good thing. You got to keep the audience wanting more, Keyzie. That's the secret, brother.
Yeah, man.
All right.
I want so much more of that.
Yeah, man. Hey, last night I watched the second half of the feature documentary Will and Harper on the old Netflix there, and it's about Will Ferrell, who had one of his best friends, very close friends, for over 30 years. They met when both started working on Saturday Night Live, and then when Harper, formerly known as something else, it was during COVID. He was in his late 50s, I think. He emailed Will to say, I am transitioning to a woman. I've always been a woman, and now I'm going to transition. So then Will Ferrell said, well, that's great. Let's do a cross-country trip because this woman, formerly a man, used to do that all the time, and she was concerned that now as a trans woman, she wouldn't be safe, or would have a bad experience during these trips. And he said, well, why don't we go, and if I'm with you, people will be sweet because I'm such a backbone and everybody loves me, blah, blah, blah. We talked about it last night, Jase, and the first hour was a bit slow, bit pedestrian. Well, good, but sort of buggered around a bit. And the second half was really good. And
Great.
it goes through all the texts, all the tweets and things they get caning them as I go through Texas. Had some really horrible experiences. But I think the great thing about it is it takes a discussion around the trans community and takes it away from being just some kind of headline, some kind of news story. And you get to see the journey of an individual and what that journey has been. So this is someone who's felt like they're a woman all their life.
Yes.
Has had 2 kids, married, all of that, and it's taken until he was almost 60, or taken her until she was 60, to make that effort and make that change and tell everybody, and now feels like is really exposed. As a result of being a woman, is infinitely more happy as an individual, but is concerned about what everybody else is going to say about it. And it's none of their business. And so it's a really great thing to see what the personal struggle is as opposed to just, the conversation around trans. what a goddamn hard thing to do. And if somebody wants to make that transition, look, if you had the choice, you'd probably just want to feel like the person you are, like you are the body you're born into, right? It's not like everybody's celebrating you. It's a doco definitely worth watching, especially if you're a prejudiced son of a bitch.
Sure.
Yeah, what's it called again?
Will and Harper.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't got back to that yet. I watched a great movie last night called Asphalt City with the great Sean Penn. And another really good young actor called Ty Sheridan.
Yes.
And it's basically about two paramedics who work in the sort of slums of America. Sean Penn, of course, plays the old, gnarled, cynical paramedic.
Is it recent?
Yeah, 2024, I think.
Kia ora.
And
That's this year.
Of course, Sean Penn's a great actor, and he plays that role of the sort of cynical, but actually very, very
Probably damaged as a result of everything he's seen.
And has lost relationships, but is a very good paramedic. And he takes this young fella under his wing, and it gets pretty brutal. It's grim. It ends dramatically. Highly recommended. 4.5 pussies out of 5.
I watched Celebrity Treasure Island.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
The Killers there on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday evening. Have you been to the Killers live, Mogi?
Yeah,
I feel like you have.
I've seen them a few times, yeah.
Yes.
Bloody good.
Good?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Would you recommend it?
No. I went, I liked it. You can do what you want.
Hey,
Sweet.
speaking of gigs,
Yeah.
have you guys heard of Gig a Little?
No.
I haven't, Jase. What's that about?
Well, basically, it's this sort of competition we're running at the moment where you hear a sort of crowd cheering. You give us a call on 0800 Hauraki and you can win yourself $500 to go and see a gig.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Bloody oath. Is that the one that's brought to you by Super Liquor?
That's the one.
Oh, yeah, I have heard of it.
Oh, okay. And just think of this, fellas. Of course, Oasis just announcing 2 shows in Australia.
Yeah.
How good would that be?
How good would that be?
I tell you what, $500 will get you there and back and a couple of tickets.
No worries.
Totally it would. Well, it'd go some way to
It
doing
would go
it, Keyzie.
some way, wouldn't
It
it?
would.
Exactly.
Yeah, it'd probably pay for your flights.
Wow. I think it would just go some way towards the thousands of dollars you'd need. Regardless, we want to get New Zealand gigging hard. Wow. Our mates at Super Liquor do as well.
Yeah.
So if you do hear the crowd roaring at some point while listening to Hauraki, jump straight on your phone. 0800 Hauraki. The cash could be yours. It doesn't matter what type of gig you want to go to as well. It says here rock, grunge, punk, folk, funk, EDM, reggae,
Classical?
electro, classical, techno, pop, shoegazer, pop.
What else?
Daydream
What else?
blues.
Yeah.
Western.
Country and
Country
Western.
and Western,
Wow.
you mean?
They never have them separated.
Don't you?
You never have Western music and we do have country music, don't you?
Yeah, you do, which is interesting, isn't it?
Nearly.
Yeah, so there's all metal, heavy metal, new metal, dark metal,
Okay, we get the
speed
point.
metal.
So if you hear a crowd roaring,
What?
call us on 0800 Hauraki and you could win $500.
And what happens then?
Then you can choose a gig you want to go
Oh,
to.
that's right, sorry.
Yeah.
Jase, what's your favourite genre of tunes?
Oh, probably classical.
Mike?
Probably classical.
What about you, Keyzie?
Probably just rock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool, eh, fellas?
Yeah, man.
Hey, cheers to Super Liquor for making this
Cheers
all
to that.
possible.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
What a day, eh, fellas? I tell you what, I'm genuinely quite pooped.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to go home. We're having homemade chicken and veg pie tonight.
That
Yum.
actually sounds good.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And I had a choice of either mashed potato and peas or a salad. What would you guys go with in that
Probably
scenario?
a mash, to be honest with you, the way that I'm feeling.
Yeah, mash. Yeah,
Although with the pie, I'd probably go salad.
right, because you're on a real health kick with your eating at the moment, eh?
Yeah,
Keyzie?
that's why, Jase. I'm on a health kick.
Mogi,
Ah.
what are you doing tonight,
I'm
mate?
going home to do the taxes.
Oh, that's
for,
right, you're gonna do your taxes.
Yeah, personal in my
Oh.
business. So that'll be good. That'll be good stuff.
Good
Looking
times.
forward to. I'm just making the most of the time that I've not got, my wife and kid here. I should be out enjoying myself. So instead of doing that, I'm doing my taxes like a goddamn loser.
Yeah, good stuff. What delicious, healthy meal is your wife cooking tonight, Keyzie? Do you know?
Tonight we are having pork mince noodles.
I feel like you just had those.
We were supposed to have it last night.
How is this coming in a food box or something? What is going on?
No. We just like a lot of Asian meals.
Whoa.
A lot of Asian meals that we're eating always have pork mince in them. The ones that we've been targeting. And this one's I think it's a Vietnamese one or something.
Right.
Actually, just on that.
And last night I was supposed to have it. We got the mince out of the freezer, the fridge. It had expired 4 days ago and stank.
Are you kidding me?
Oh,
They
wow.
sent us pretty much the day our shopping was picked up. That mince went off that day.
Oh, that's not on,
But
man.
you froze it.
No, it was in the fridge. So I accidentally said freezer. Yeah.
Okay,
Actually, you gave me a good idea, which I'm going to try genuinely.
yeah? What is
A
that?
bit of pork mince and the chopped up prawns.
Oh, yeah, and you mince it all
tortilla
together.
And the chili oil and a bit of salad, maybe some cheese. Good
Wow.
stuff.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's like dumpling wraps.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But in a
Chives.
yeah.
Add chives.
Oh, and chives.
A little bit of
chives on
chives, a
my
little bit of
herb
lemon
patch.
zest. Yeah.
Now, listen, it's been a pleasure bringing you the show today. It's been a bit weird, but that's, it is what it is. Check out the Instagram account. Also, check out all our podcasts. Till tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right? See you later.
Bye.